You okay? Everything all right?
Oh, Wild Blue Yonder.
Wild Blue Yonder.
Wild Blue Yonder.
We've seen it.
Wow, okay.
We've watched it. It's out, Aiden. The episode that I would say like lived rent free in people's heads for over a year.
Yeah, full of mystery. Will Matt Smith be in it? Will Peter Capaldi be in it? Will K9 be in it? Who knows?
No.
No one knows. Bit of context, guys. A little bit of a late upload for the review here because I was down south at a wedding, so I drove back up this morning.
To the happy couple.
Hey! So that was cool. Not hungover this week, so that's good. That's I was hungover this morning. Didn't watch the episode, so I had to be like down south in Bunbury for a couple of hours, just avoiding social media.
Yeah, well done, by the way.
Felt good. Felt cool to do. And then drove back up for a couple of hours. Sat back down at like lunchtime, chucked it on, and watched my way through the Wild Blue Yonder. You stayed up last night. I
did.
As we all know, with your mega live stream.
With my mega live stream, yeah.
Your mega live stream. Massive hit,
Dad
apparently.
came down. My sister came down.
We should Dad do it on the live stream.
It was brilliant.
I love it. I've got to see the Glenn cameo.
It was actually but it was so scary being live with Dad on there.
Yeah,
I was like...
That's unhinged.
Now,
forget Doctor Who Unleashed, more like 50% unhinged.
The only goblin comment he made was he asked if Kate Stewart was hot. And I was like, because he mentioned the brig, and I was like, nah, we got Kate Stewart. He's like, oh, is she hot? And I was like, Dad, you can't say that kind of thing.
This is 2023.
This is 2023. This is a live stream. Yeah, but I stayed up. So we watched Star Beast again, and then had like a 10-minute intermission.
Right.
By the way, can I just say, Disney Plus, like literally at 2:30 on the dot.
Yeah.
It was instantly on there.
I heard that apparently the Star Beast, it came out 2 minutes earlier on Disney Plus than it did in the UK. Oh, who the fuck's noticing that, you bloody nerds? Okay, we are here. We're your boys, 50% Doctor Who podcast. We're going to talk about Wild Blue Yonder. We haven't discussed at all what each other think about it. I watched it literally 10 minutes ago, so this is so fresh. Mm-hmm. But yeah, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We like to do this every single week. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor, on TikTok at 50Doctor Who. Connor, anything else to plug?
We have a Ko-fi.
Oh, we do.
We have a thanks button.
Give me your fucking money,
video.
Bitch.
All the money goes towards a Rodecaster.
Yeah, yes. So you're funding the show, not us. The show.
50% podcast. It's a stifling one today as well.
It is warm.
It is warm.
It is so warm in
Very
here.
humid.
Sweaty blue yonder.
Sure.
I love it. That's the quality humor you can get on this channel.
Can I make a prediction?
Yeah, you can.
I think if I can guess what you thought, if I can guess.
Yeah.
I think A, you enjoyed it a lot more than last week.
Mm-hmm.
B, you're maybe a little bit upset that Matt and Peter weren't in it, but still enjoyed it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And C, I don't have a C.
Okay, it's
but
just
that's what I thought. I think that's my prediction of what you thought.
All right, I'll make a guess of yours.
Mm-hmm.
I think you, about 5 minutes into the episode, had your heart broken, realizing that this is not going to be the Matt Smith Peter Capaldi episode that we all desperately wanted, but very quickly were won over by the story, and found yourself relatively invested in it. Before you answer, Wild Blue Yonder is the second of 3 2023 specials of Doctor Who broadcast on the 2nd of December 2023 as part of the 60th anniversary celebrations. The story marked Donna Noble's first adventure as a companion following her memories of the Doctor being returned to her, with Wild Blue Yonder continuing immediately on from the end of the Star Beast. You guys have all watched it. I don't need to go further with this description. It's Doctor and Donna on a spaceship. Crazy shenanigans. Shenanigans, man.
Shit's going down.
Crazy. I'm so... who goes first? You go first? I go first?
I'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it was 5 minutes in that I realised I weren't in it.
Okay.
Do you want to answer? Was I right with what I said about you?
To be honest, I got about 5 minutes in and went, they're not in this fucking episode.
Yeah.
And immediately it was like, I don't give a fuck.
So, what did you think?
I wasn't sad that they weren't in it, and I just jumped on board. I guess loose thoughts of the episode is I like loved it. Like I just crazily was into this bonkers. I laughed so much more this week than I did last week, and a lot of it was just me going like, "This is nuts!
Yeah,
what is going on here?"
Absolutely.
But the mystery, how it unraveled was great. There was some spooky moments.
Oh, 100%.
Where I was like, I'm watching it with I had the blind mostly drawn, but it was pretty much dark.
My
with a
arms
little bit
are
of
too
light.
long. That was creepy as fuck.
When like Donna's in the dark corridor and she hears like a breath behind her and she turns around, woo! And even just like the moments of the Doctor and Donna deep in space looking out the windows and it's just silence. Really great stuff. I guess more broad notes. I think Murray, 90% of it, much better this week. I really liked his score a lot more. Still some times where it was emotional beats to the point where his score overpowered the dialogue, not necessarily in volume, but just in terms of attention. And I felt myself listening more to his score than to what was being said on screen. Maybe that's just my brain, but no, I really like this a lot. Can you tell me what you think, Connor?
Yeah, I'm the exact same.
Yeah,
I really loved it.
Yeah,
and do you know what? It did what I think. Look, okay, am I a bit upset they're not in it? Do I think they could have utilized the shape-shifting aliens into shifting between Matt and Peter? That's why I was like, oh, this is when we're going to go see them. But surprisingly enough, I really wasn't that bummed out by it.
No.
And I think I was more like, I respect the fact that they didn't do it. Because it look, regardless of how cool it would have been, it is like bringing back like Matt and Peter would have been like, it's such an easy way to win over your audience.
Yeah.
And like you can forget about maybe the episode not being that great because you're like, well, Matt was in it and Peter was in it. So I respect they just went for it. Am I a bit surprised as to why they kept it such a huge secret? I don't know.
Well, look, here's what I thought was, what are you going to show?
That's true.
Like, what more could they have shown in this episode? Because it's all pretty much the same settings. We had seen most of the sets and set pics and stuff anyways. So, to be honest, I think they actually showed us a lot more than we thought they had.
I have pretty much nothing but positive things to say about the episode, so I will get the negatives out of the way first.
Yeah, let's do that.
I do think that maybe they... And look, this was the fans definitely were a huge part of this, of hyping it up to be this big cameo-filled episode. I mean, I know I've been saying that for since day dot. Do I think they maybe encouraged that a little bit? But yeah, sure. But like, it's funny. Like, it didn't piss me off anyway near as much as I thought it would. Do I understand the whole like redacted casting? No,
not at all.
Do you think, because like with Sir Isaac Newton at the beginning, I'm 90% sure that was one of the actors from It's a Sin.
It is, yeah.
That's awesome. So I love that. I love that Russell's reusing people. That's great. So I'm guessing it was him, and then it was Donna and the Doctor, or maybe
Bernard Cribbins. Would have been one. Who's the third one?
What's it?
The voice on the speaker?
What's his name? Jimbo? He doesn't even
Jimbo?
talk. Maybe Jimbo got a fucking...
Maybe the lady that the guy from It's a Sin talks to right at the start, maybe she's a person in the UK. I mean, I'm sure she's a person in the UK. Maybe she's a significant person in the UK.
I like their minimal casting, though. Like, I love that.
Oh, dude, it seriously was like...
It's actually really good.
As I was watching this, I was like, I hope Connor likes this episode, purely because... You keep banging on. You're like, I don't know if 8 episodes is enough to have your midnights, your turn lefts. In 3 episodes, we have, I guess, in a way, an equivalent of a midnight and a turn left in terms of like an experimental, weird episode, nothing to do with the rest of the series.
I was saying it when we were watching it last night. I said to Dan, I was like, now I finally feel like Russell's back.
Yeah.
This feels so much more like him than last week. I mean, we got a second of brief for one. What do you mean? You want to object?
No, I think
address the court. Object.
I'll put on my little wig.
Go on.
I thought last week did feel like him. It was just a little much. But I think it still had that family soapy vibe. This felt like him doing experimental him, which I think is the him that we love and are happy to see again.
Sure. Yeah. But I just think it was so much so much better written.
Yeah.
And
pacing was so much better.
There was this unsettling, creepy vibe to it.
So good.
Okay, and one last little nitpick and negative, because I think that's literally all I've got, is maybe the marketing went a little bit too far with the suspiciousness of it. And which, by the way, doesn't even make it that mad.
Yeah.
And 2, I think maybe they bit off a little bit more they could chew with just
The
effects, particularly when they first walk out into the long hallway. I thought that was definitely like, just because it takes me out a little bit, but like again, I don't want to shit on VFX workers. I have nothing but respect for them, and
not shitting on the VFX workers, but I think it is fair to say like those textures were not polished in that room. Like it was weird to look at. You do kind of get used to it, but I do think surely we could have just found a actual location that was. I guess it's hard because of how much they played with the environment. Maybe this is the only way they could do it.
It takes you out a little bit, I think.
And I didn't like when David was like, hold on a second, stomps on the floor and that cart comes up. I was like, how did you know that was there?
It's plot convenience.
It was very convenient. A little bit sneaky on the writing there. But other than that, I really was on board with this episode. Bloody loved it.
And I guess like one more thing is that like,
you really hated this, didn't you?
No, I loved it.
I'm kidding.
No, I love. And again, this is all these little things. I would consider them even nitpicks because like I generally really liked it.
When your criticisms are VFX, it's like you've got nothing else to complain about.
I think what makes sometimes something scary is maybe bad CGI. And when we see David Tennant's jaw drop and him going on a backwards
that was so... I was chuckling my little ass off.
His head is under his legs. Does it look kind of goofy? Sure, but I think it's like just unsettling. Yeah. And it's very silly, but somehow I really liked it.
Yeah, it was absolute batshit bonkers in the best way possible. Okay, let's break it down a little bit more.
Break it down now.
I guess it's hard to sort of pinpoint a standout performance when the two only actors really are David and Catherine, both of which I think did absolutely incredible. Catherine at the end, oh my god, when he took the wrong Donna, I was
like, is this it?
I genuinely was like, they've convinced me here.
Yeah.
Donna's fucking gonna die.
Yeah.
I was cooked for a hot second there. And then they started playing it out a little bit, and the explosion was slowly coming, and I was like, he's just going to teleport it and save her and see. The ramp was a little bit bullshit, but that's okay.
The ramp?
Vampire Donna on the TARDIS, and the Doctor just flicks the switch, and the ramp flips up.
Yeah.
That was, I think, a little bit too convenient.
There was some silly-ass moments in this, but it's goofy-ass who.
I would like to get rid of some of these silly little... these convenient things, because we talked about that a lot in the Star Beast. There was a lot of really convenient writing in the Star Beast, and I think there still is some here today. I would like to try and get rid of that as we go through the era, because it does take me out whenever there is something like that. Whenever David stomps on the floor and magically a little device comes up for them to ride on, I'm like, this show is written.
Oh, you're not a huge you haven't watched Back to the Future a bit, have you? You haven't seen it in a while.
I'm not watching it in a long time, no.
Yeah, there's like a Back to the Future reference where he has his foot out of the TARDIS doing the...
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's when Marty's
no wonder Vinny loved this episode.
Yeah, well, of course, it's got DT in it.
True. Yeah. But that was cool.
What did you think of the beginning landing in the tree?
Just funny.
Because that photo came out like a couple hours before the episode came out. And everyone was like, what?
They're not in a set all the time. And it's funny because I remember Russell saying we filmed an opening with a cameo that no one saw.
And he mentioned Apple.
Crazy. I love that opening. I thought it was silly.
Mavity,
sure. Why not?
So is that now what Gravity's going to be called?
I hope that's like an ongoing gag.
I think it might be.
I'd love it
They
to
keep
be.
referring to it as Mavity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the moment it started and they were just in the tree and she was like, I'm going to say it. And he's like, don't say it.
Is it the gravity of the situation?
Yeah. I was just like, they're back. Yeah. I felt like they're back. Yeah. And as much as last week I said I felt like they rushed in the whole getting through the meta crisis part of it, I felt like this week made it feel a little bit more justified, because it was great to go into this episode without going, oh, we've got to deal with all this other plot stuff. It was great that was all out of the way last week, and this week it was just like the Doctor and Donna on a Series 4 adventure.
I love how, we're not here at all to be like, oh, the difference between, the last era and this era is already like so much better. But I will say this, like, I loved how there was a moment where they fell out and were yelling at each other because of Donna and the coffee and stuff, and like, you know, they were yelling at each other for a little bit, and then they calmed themselves down, and
and the doctor grabs our hands.
Yes,
I'll get you home.
All the stuff. Look, all the creatures looking through the vents and stuff.
I will keep you safe. I will get you home again. That's a little deep breath reference for you all there.
What did they look like when they were looking through the vents? Were they just like...
Just air?
Just air?
Just air. Yeah, I'd like to think that they don't look like anything. And then they were taking on the form of Doctor and Donna.
Cryptic.
To get like a physical form. The moment I saw those big fucking arms, I was like, this episode is either going to go one way or another with the fandom. It's either going to be like Love and Monsters 2, which I think it might be. I've not had a chance to look online. I had a very quick look, and people seem to be positive, but it was only through a couple of the big hitters that I saw the opinions of.
I thought that people would be super mad, but I think people are just like me per se, where like it didn't actually bother them anywhere near as much as we thought it would.
Part of me is like, I wish that these specials weren't the 60th anniversary specials, and I wish this was just like a random year and we've got 3 great Dr. Donner episodes, because it is kind of like the 60th does only come around once, and so it would be great to have like a 60th special.
I agree. Yeah,
I'm also really on board with that. They're keeping this Dr. Donner stuff. I think you're right. You've been saying for like over a year now that maybe these are just the David Tennant specials, and I think you're right. I think they are. I think they are just the David Tennant specials. And Catherine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you have like a standout moment from the episode?
I never thought I'd say this, but it would definitely be the Flux mention.
Oh, that was beautiful.
So half the universe is destroyed.
I'm glad that Russell because I felt like Tubes kind of forgot to address that in
100%
in the specials, and I love how Russell clearly watched that and went, well, it didn't exactly fix the universe. So I thought if they did address the Flux, I thought that he was either going to say, oh, you know, I had to go around and restore the universe. That's what I thought he would say. I didn't think he was going to play into the fact that no, in Doctor Who universe, half of the universe has now been destroyed.
I love that, because we'll definitely see in like Shooty's era the effects of that, and like
hopefully,
how, you know, half the universe is gone.
Yeah, no Mars. Mars is gone.
Is Mars gone, you think?
No, well, it can't be, because then
didn't the Flux go all the way up to? So it should have taken out the sun.
We should be the only planet left in the solar system other than Mercury and what are the ones closer to the sun?
Venus.
But no, Venus is further away.
I don't know where the planets
I don't know, but like Pluto, fucking gone, mate.
Uranus,
Mars,
it was gone before Flux.
It was. My anus has always been gone.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, great moment.
How can I not run away?
I think my favorite moment was probably, weirdly enough, the times when it was the 4 of them in a room together. So the time with the salt shaker, when they first got the teeth, I thought that was really cool. And again, I reckon the highlight for me is them through the window to each other, right as it was all coming together at the end. I thought that was great. The performances there, I loved. It was very midnight, in like the other Doctors started to almost outsmart real Doctor. You know, it was kind of playing with that sort of knowledge, power of knowledge.
Yeah,
and I was super into that part. Obviously, you know, standout has to also be seeing Bernie again. Bernard Cribbins.
Now that was a good surprise.
Yeah, I went, yes!
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting that next week.
Yeah.
So I'll give them that.
And I love how they sort of set it up by saying, I wonder how long they waited. I bet he would have sat there, would have set himself up waiting for the TARDIS to come back.
Yeah, that was really... And by the way, got to give you credit. Didn't you literally say, like, on Thursday, you were like, David comes up the TARDIS, we see the plane.
Yeah, that's what I said. I did.
Aiden, you got it.
Yeah, Aiden for showrunner. Aiden's already showrunner at this point.
I think a really good cliffhanger. I haven't seen the Next Time trailer yet, because I'm going to do the reaction to it. But yeah, I think the ending was brilliant.
Yeah.
The Wilfred coming back, just like... It was beautiful, man.
It was. I did think the last couple of shots, once again, they just rush you into the end credit sequence, of which I hate, especially considering it's the last moment with Wilf. I would have preferred them to just like go like, the world's going mad, and maybe they could have, after they realized they weren't going to get any more of Wilf, maybe they could have just done like a pan out, like CGI shot of the city or something. Pan out, but you know, pull out of the city, like I don't know, and you can just see all the chaos going on or whatever.
You gotta help us, Doctor.
And just give you a moment to sort of sit on it, because it's like Wilf's last moment, and you get a little fist bump at the start of his scene for sure, but then it ends like snap your fingers, and I didn't really like that, but.
So we haven't said on the show, have we? It was
No.
after the show, before the show, that this is the last scene.
This is Bernard Cribbin's last scene.
This is the only scene we're gonna have.
Yeah, which is why I kind of hate that. It was a little bit rushed at the end there, but so Russell put out on his Instagram saying that this was the only scene they got to film with Bernard. It doesn't sound like there's deleted scenes. It sounds like this was all that they got.
I was going to ask you that. So they didn't film anything.
I don't think so. I think this was all that they got. Which is a shame. I wonder how much he was going to be involved in 3, because clearly I actually don't think he was meant to be in 1 at all, in Special 1, and now in Special 2 he's clearly meant to be right at the end. So I think it's nice that the first 2 worked out, and I think it kind of. Yeah, I think 3 will work okay, because Russell basically said, "Don't worry, we're not there's no more Wilf, but we don't kill him off or anything like that. We'll mention him a few times throughout Special 3, and he's looked after. Don't worry about Wilf." Was sort of what he said. So,
so that graveyard scene isn't for Wilf.
No.
Shooty.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so you were happy with the Wilf scene?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've only watched it once. Well, I've rewatched the Wilf scene 3 or 4 times, but I've only watched the episode once. But I feel like, obviously when it ended, I was like, okay, they weren't actually in it. There was no doctors in it. But then just trying to get my thoughts together and actually think oh, well, did I enjoy it? And yeah, definitely.
I enjoyed it so much.
I think it was just it was kind of mid-90s vibes, a creepy villain, taking the simple route of a simplistic villain. There's literally it's just them being doppelgangers.
It's great,
and it's spooky as hell.
Yeah.
What do you think of the giant Doctor
when they're squished in? I was a bit yeah, this is great. I don't know what it's like showing parents or new fans this, because it is kind of nonsense.
When I watched that with my family tonight, I can't even
just leave, go for a piss at that point.
I can't even begin to think what they're gonna say.
Yeah. As I was watching this, I was like, no, these specials are not a jumping on point. I really don't think they are. I reckon we're waiting. When Shooty comes in, that's the jumping on point. Surely there's not going to be giant Shooty Gatwa and Millie Gibson rocking around the Christmas tree.
Well, Russell has said this week that the 60th specials are a soft launch,
right?
For that, because
I don't think they've done a good job at it.
What's the thing? He said, I understand people are asking why is it not being advertised much on Disney Plus and stuff, is what we've been saying as well. And he said that the 60th specials are just a soft launch for it. So by Christmas,
so Christmas is big launch,
aka 22 days.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
We'll get more of a launch per se.
Yeah.
Hopefully hyping up the special. Get a banner going. Get a coming soon.
That'd be awesome.
Spot going for Shooty special.
Which also, as we know, as every comment section person has decided to tell us, Disney didn't actually start funding Doctor Who until the Shooty specials.
So it's a Shooty one that got the first.
Shooty is when they first were actually making the show with, because BBC basically funded all this trilogy, and Disney essentially just bought the distribution rights, is my best understanding for it. So they got some money from it. Maybe they were like, oh, okay, we can VFX David's arms a little bit longer now. Right. But it would have just been distribution rights, I'm pretty sure. They weren't actually involved in the funding of the specials. So
I think you can kind of tell that from the CG a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. It's still good old BBC,
more than a little bit. It is.
A lot of it.
I like it when they're climbing on the walls and stuff, and it's all move in, and then the Doctor gets flipped around, and then Donna gets sent down a
little hole.
Donna,
yep.
What do you think? So what do you think of the BoJack Horseman pilot?
I like the horsey. The horsey.
Killed themselves to stop the ship from ever reaching civilization, and set Jimbo up to self-destruct.
Horsey was good. It was Jimbo was an interesting mechanism.
I like the small walk, the
little stomps. Yeah. I don't know why he had to have or she had to have Jimbo walk to a trigger to press the trigger. Oh, it was because it had to be slow, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
they move. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one, Russell. Yeah. I like BoJack. BoJack was cool. Did you like BoJack?
Yeah.
BoJack was cool.
I like the darkness of the idea of a pilot killing themselves to stop a evil.
It's basically Waters of Mars, right?
We waited in the dark. It's creepy. Mm-hmm. I want to watch it tonight with all the lights off.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good episode to watch in like the dark and you're all cozy.
We have a little tea.
A cocoa?
Cocoa? A little hot cocoa.
Oh, you got me wanting some cocoa now.
Get some cocoa, man.
I love a bit of hot chocolate.
Get some cocoa. Great Pixar film. Yeah. Okay. So we talked sort of best performances, which we just say both of them, I think, because they're both just so good in it. We talked about highlight scenes. Do you have something that didn't work, like a specific scene that you were kind of like, this isn't
Kick
for me?
its ass. Nah, I like that scene.
That was it was fine. It was fine.
A scene didn't really work for me. Not really.
No?
Again, I don't even think it was that bad. I think it's kind of like, it's just silly Doctor Who. But when they are driving away and they're getting chased by a giant Doctor, and I think the hand thing was silly, where it's like whacking the hand.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what is this
What's
show?
going on?
What is this show?
Bonkers.
It's
Bonkers.
insane.
Do you like how
Only Doctor Who could be that fucking whack.
we talked about the Flux reference? That also is a massive reference to the whole Timeless Child arc and how much has happened to the Doctor. Once again, I feel like this is Russell watching Chib's era, and not talking shit about Chibs or anything like that, but obviously Russell writes Doctor Who with a lot more emotion than Chibnall does. And I love how Russell's sort of seen this massive arc that the Doctor's been on, and how it probably should affect the Doctor more than it's let on in Chib's era. So he's sort of taken that into his stride, where it's like the Doctor is still hiding his emotions and that battle, which gives context for 13, who kept the Timeless Child arc quite close and didn't open up to Yaz about it. And he's kind of using that as a plot point in this, where he's not opening up to Donna about it, but it still clearly is very present in his mind. When he had to, when he saw that Donna knew, vampire Donna knew, I thought that was a beautiful moment. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a great way to show that Donna knows.
Yeah, well, Donna doesn't know now, but...
Oh, really?
No, that's what they said. That's what Donna said. She didn't know. That's why at the end she was asking about it, because it was just so much.
I thought she was pretending not to know.
No, I think she said it was like looking into a furnace.
Right.
And so she couldn't quite figure out what was
Right.
going on in his old noggin.
Do you think next week, if we even get a second, she'll know about all that, or is it just going to be left there?
I think that'll be a crucial plot point to what could happen at the resolution of next week's episode, which I would like us to talk about off air, because it does involve some potentially leaked stuff that came out quite a bit ago.
Thoughts on that?
But I don't want to bring that stuff onto the actual pod. And even that leaked stuff, I didn't read all the leaked stuff. I just saw a couple of key things. It was hard to avoid on Twitter. But,
absolutely.
But I think the more we know about these specials, the more we know that big leak is pretty true, because a lot has come true throughout it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess it's more of an off-air conversation. Yeah, I don't know how much more there is to talk about for this special. It's a weird one because it's all so great, and I think it's just so raw for me, having watched it only once so far.
Yeah, me too. But I just really liked it. I think the Flux mentioning and the Timeless Child, like, you're not actually from Gallifrey. Yeah. I really liked that. Mm-hmm. I think it showed the Doctor's vulnerable side in a way that we haven't seen in
a long time. Again, it's just like more emotional writing, I think, which Russell does so well. I missed that. I like my Doctor Who with a few tears attached.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm. I like the banging and the kicking, because it's almost like what I love, and what I was sort of getting at with him finally being able to talk to him, finally opening up about the Timeless Children and stuff. It was like he doesn't want to tell people that, but the fact that he thought that Donna knew, and he could finally talk and grieve about his past. But then when it turns out that Donna doesn't actually know, I love how angry he got. Like he had like a glimmer of hope that Donna could understand everything he's been through. But now it's sort of back to square one. And he's like, he'll have to tell somebody this stuff.
I'm glad I didn't ignore it.
Yeah.
Loved it that they addressed it. I think it was handled really well. And I'm not against them kind of running with it and seeing where it goes. I don't think it's going to be like a huge...
Yeah, I don't know they need to take it much further than they have in this special, but...
what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind it being like the universe thing, for example, like half the universe. I think there's stuff to be explored there.
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe some civilizations that are kind of collapsing into themselves based on that, like politically, I like collapsing because half the planet has been destroyed. What do you do? Like that kind of thing is. It
is very Marvel. Half the universe.
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
I am getting Marvel.
At least this episode didn't feel very Marvel. No,
absolutely not. But that is quite a Marvel thing with the half the universe. I did think that. I'll tell you what, though. Yeah, I think the writing this week was so much better. I think the pacing was so much better. I think the storyline was a lot better.
I think it made me realize.
I really loved it.
I think these 3 specials are sort of like they seem to tackle the 3 main types of Doctor Who you get. So last week you got the kind of kiddie, very light-hearted family drama side of Doctor Who, right? And then this week you got the spooky, bottle, slightly experimental episode of Doctor Who, which you always get one of those in a season. And then next week you get the big climactic, everything's going, I'm sure the emotions are going to be pumping, that side of Doctor Who. And I feel like it's like, as much as we can say in terms of it being a jumping on point, it's not the best story-wise, I think it's like a good jumping on point to be like, this is the scale of Doctor Who. You know? It goes from here to here to here. That you in one season, we've got like a mini season right here, exploring the 3 different types of Doctor Who you can really get. So that's quite cool. What
excites me though, Russell said this episode is weird, and he said next week's is creepy. So I'm excited for scariness. Mm-hmm. I like when Doctor Who is scary. Like I definitely think this would scare some kids. For sure. I love that. Mm-hmm. This felt obviously I'm not like crapping myself like hiding behind the sofa.
Yeah.
But I think this was a step towards Doctor Who being scary again, which I think is really cool for like, because I keep thinking about how I would have reacted to it if I was a kid.
Yeah.
And Doctor Who did used to scare me as a kid. So I think this definitely would have been up there to see the Doctor and a companion be evil. Would terrify me. It's like,
but also to see the Doctor and companion kind of quite lost as to what to do, which I love that. It's great when the Doctor comes face to face with a monster they've never met before, and they have to figure out the rules of that monster, which Blue Yonder, I think, did an amazing job at. And even though it's just little things that Russell does, like right at the end when the Doctor finally gets Donna back, the real Donna back on the ship, there's this beautiful shot that just pushes in on them, just sat by the TARDIS console hugging each other, just silence. And you can just read, like, the Doctor was actually terrified. The Doctor fully thought that he'd fully fucked up. He thought he'd just lost Donna. A second difference, he could have lost Donna, and that's sort of not necessarily on him, but, it was his decision that would have led to that. And you feel that Donna definitely feels like she was just about to die.
Mrs. Bean. She fucked it all up.
Fucking Mrs. Bean, mate. Fucking Mrs. Spriggett.
Mrs. Spriggett.
That's all in between his reference there. So just little moments like that after the adventure where you sort of go, well, that was a whirlwind for them. Not just for us. They were actually terrified at that moment. And I just think that's Russell writing masterfully.
Oh, do you know what I loved?
What?
Absolutely loved.
Tell me.
How the TARDIS was playing the Wild Blue Yonder song.
Oh, so good.
And I love... This is such a good line and so creepy. I love how Donna was like, Granda used to always say that kids shouldn't be singing that at school because it's about people going to war.
Mm.
I don't know if that line ever like resonated with people like me, but I'm like, that's just so true. How like we're singing like in school like all these songs. And it's about war. Like there are songs like it reminded me of how there's songs like Pumped Up Kicks and stuff, which is about the Columbine shooting.
Yeah,
and it's like to me like when songs have like creepy meanings, I kind of like it.
Yeah,
like 99 Lost Shop Ballons. What's
the meaning behind that?
It's about like bombs landing on
no, I didn't know that.
Germany or something.
Do you listen to the German version or the English version?
German, but I have listened to the English version.
Yeah, because I always listen to the German on my main playlist. And then like my dad, I was driving my dad the other day and it was playing in the car. And he was like, oh, you like the German version? I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I don't think I've ever listened to the German version before.
Yeah.
I was like, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I did listen to the English version like 2 weeks ago. But that's what I mean though, like that's what I mean though, like the creepiness of like the TARDIS playing like Wild Blue Yonder.
Yeah.
And by the way, I like how the Sonic got taken as well.
Yeah, it was like we used the Sonic so much last week.
Yeah.
Russell was like, can't do that again. Need an episode without the Sonic.
I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a Sonic screwdriver and this is a real screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to
Ding dong.
Stick in the fucking... Yeah.
Okay, I want to say this week
Hads.
We had Hads? No, but talking about the TARDIS, I want to talk about the title sequence a little bit here. I, last week, kind of said I wasn't so keen on the title sequence. And I'll still say now, it's not my favourite. It isn't. I do like... Weirdly, I like it more when it goes outside of the time vortex and it goes sort of into the spacey side of stuff. I prefer that. But I think I just don't really like the look of the time vortex too much in this one. But that's fine.
I really like it.
I think it'll grow on me. I do. I bet by the end of like season 15, I'm going to be like, this is the best title sequence ever.
I really like it, yeah.
The theme. There is one thing that will not stop irking me with this theme. And I think people keep referring to it as breathing online. I don't hear breathing. I hear like clicking. It's like... And I just think universally the whole fandom is just like... Let's just get rid of that, and we've got a great theme.
I think they can. That's
surely just delete stem.
Yeah, that's an easy thing you can change.
Yeah, surely.
For Shooty.
Because it's just, I hate it. It's just like this weird thing in like the back of your brain, just going like...
I feel like everyone, including me, hears breathing.
That's clicking. I'm right, you know?
And it's so weird. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Get rid.
I'm clearly right, just me on my own. I'm always right.
Bow tie, get rid.
What?
From the lodger.
Right. Oh, I liked it when he dropped his tie.
Not in it, of course. Yeah, it fucking melted into goo.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Do you
like when Donna melted? And it was, there was like a little bit of a boot?
Dude, I have on my phone so much great screenshots to randomly send out this week.
Oh, God.
The chin. The knees.
Me Monday morning.
Yeah.
It would just be sloshed. The slosh.
Yeah, dude, the slosh, the goo.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so easy to get ya.
It's very almost people rebel flesh.
Yes.
Especially like the...
And let's just say the effects haven't gotten that much better.
They actually haven't.
Dude, that rap scene is so silly.
I hate it. It was such like an emotional beat, and then it was like, oh no, we're still Doctor Who.
So now we know the bridges can go... Boom.
Yeah, that's why they need the ramps.
Yeah.
It wasn't about accessibility. It was about
sending people fucking out.
Yeah, it's an emergency exit.
Oh, God. It was so silly, but so serious at the same time. Mm-hmm. I think it was on purpose to do, like, the most wacky-ass, like, CG, like, creepy-ass faces.
Part of me was like, maybe Russell was like, I've seen the Chibnall era. The VFX has come a long way since I've done Doctor Who. Let's go all out. And then they sort of might have seen the edit and been like, no, we still probably can't do that. We should bring on Disney.
Yeah, I do. Part of me was wondering how it would have looked with a Disney budget. Probably still pretty bad.
Probably. It's Doctor Who.
It's a lot to do. It's a lot to bite off.
It is. No.
Like, it's hard to do something like that and make it look good.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the goofiness sort of added to this for me. Do you have a... Give me a second.
I guess we were right about giant doctors, by the way. We were right.
That's a throwback to last week. All right, Connor, do you have a big Doctor Energy moment of the week? For our new listeners, because there is quite a few of you, Big Doctor Energy is sort of, I guess, a play on Big Dick Energy. It was meant to start as the highlight of, like, the highlight moment of the week, like the highlight moment of the Doctor of the week or something. But it slowly turned into, like, just like the silliest, most ridiculous moment of the week.
I feel like you've done this too late. I feel like I've already said it.
Yeah, I guess.
It would either be the Flux mention and the Timeless Child mention. Never thought I'd say that. Or Wilf.
I think Wilf would be the real answer for me. But in terms of, you know me, I like to throw in some silly nonsense shit in there. I think Doctor and Donna crawling on all fours, getting bigger and bigger, and then just getting squished, and their heads all being squished together. And that's my Big Doctor Energy moment of the week.
Damn.
Has to be. God damn.
What an enjoyable episode, though.
Did you like Tom Kingsley's direction?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good, hey?
I know you're a hater, but I really like him.
Just because I said there's that one shot, and I think it worked better in the episode than it seemed to me.
Then we go and kick its ass.
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't have a problem with that. I think upon the whole, it was great. There was never like a moment where I went like, ooh, look at this direction, you know? It just like served the purpose well, which I think a lot of these more subtle episodes do really well. You know, you don't They don't try and go like, oh, here's your one-shot sequence. They don't try and draw attention to the direction. They sort of let the writing do a lot of the talking and just purposely or perfectly just support that in the background.
I will say this before we move on.
What are we moving on to?
I don't know.
Yeah, great.
I don't know.
Move on to the end.
I will say this. I think that, do I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity with the 60th being here? Sure. Do I also think that, I think the only thing that could have been spoiled for you on Twitter was A, Will's return, and B, the fact that no doctors were in it.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a moment where it was like you can't let this get spoiled for you. You need to watch it live.
Yeah.
I guess Wilf is a big reveal, but we did know he was going to be in it.
Yeah, specifically
next week.
What we'd seen.
Exactly.
It was specifically we'd seen his one scene get filmed.
So it's kind of like,
which is a shame.
So it's kind of just like, I guess the only thing again that could have really gotten spoiled was the fact that there are no spoilers.
Yeah.
If anything.
I hope they've got something up their sleeve next week, Connor, because I know you've not seen the next time trailer yet.
No.
I'm not going to spoil it because you're going to film your reaction for it. Mm-hmm. But all I'll say is there is 2 shots in it where I just thought, why are you showing us this?
Oh, okay.
And it's very Stephen Moffat. It's very next time Stephen Moffat. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. I'm keen for next time trailer Stephen Moffat style.
Yeah, like we'll reveal the climax of the episode kind of thing.
I know there's a shot of Dave regenerating.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's one of them, yeah.
I've seen one with Shooty in the TARDIS.
Yep, that's the other one.
Jukebox.
Yep.
Yeah, why did they show that?
It's like one, why are you...
Where did that jukebox come from?
Why do you need to show Shooty? And 2, because surely that's the end of the episode, right? And then you also see David regenerating in one of the shots, and it's like, why are you showing us this?
Can it be like more green screen trickery?
Shooty in the TARDIS, maybe. David regenerating, nah.
Where did that jukebox come from?
And the thing is, I would easily say, it's obviously not the main David regeneration. It might not be. I hope it's not. But
it very well might be.
It very well might be. And it's like, how many times has Doctor Who teased us with a fake regeneration in next time trailer? You had it with Pete, all that kind of thing. I don't think that they're gonna... I think this is the real deal. I don't think this is a fake regen.
They're probably like, they already know he's going to regenerate. Who cares? We'll just show it.
How would you feel if David just regenerated halfway through the giggle and Shooty was in the second half of it? No thoughts.
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like that I've purposely not attached myself as much as I can to David being back because I just... Look, we're already 2 in. He's gone next week.
He dies, mate. This time next week, we're going to be...
And I love him.
I do want to go. Brother.
I don't know. I mean, I've been trying not to get too attached to Catherine and David being back, so I just know it's going to be like grabbed from me.
I say these specials, I'm not taking that seriously.
I don't think you can.
I think special 1, I just took way too seriously and was like, well, this is silly. This is just like the silly fan wank. We've got David and Catherine back. Good fun.
That did help this week going.
And I think this week benefited from it. It's almost like the Children Need sketch. Where it's like, they're doing it. It's probably not going to mean much by the time we get to next season with Shooty. So we'll just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you...
Sorry, I don't know why I said that. So I'm so hot and sweaty,
yeah,
Connor.
Me too.
I've got to sit in this room and edit once
I'll make it quick.
Yep.
I'll sit with you. I'll hold your hand.
No, don't. Fuck off. Go home.
Aiden Green.
Last thing I need is more heat in this room.
Yeah, well, I'm hot.
I'm kidding.
Do you think there's a chance we'll see like Matt and Peter next week?
No. There's so much going on next week, man. There's so much.
We're 30 minutes in and so much has already happened. I'm like, no, the Starbeast pacing.
It's cooked.
No,
I hope not. Too much next week. Too much. We've already got Shooty, who's going to be in it more than we think. We don't need to add... Well, I just know. I predicted I predicted the airplane at the end of this episode.
You also said Shooty would be in this epised and he's not.
Yeah, no, I was lying when I said that.
Yeah, I was lying when I said Matt Smith and Pig are probably going to be in it as well.
Yeah, we got this all wrong, didn't we?
Yeah. Sorry for assuming a fucking anniversary special would have old doctors in it. What an idiot I am. What a dumbass.
I was meant to say this in the preview pod for Wild Blue Yonder, but the moment that I came to terms with the fact that Matt and Pete probably weren't going to be in Wild Blue Yonder was when they released the art for the Steelbook. And it was just David and Catherine on the front, and then, Neil Patrick Harris, Meep, and the Wrath Warriors on the back. I sort of saw that and thought, if there was a big anniversary part with all the Doctors, I feel like we'd see that on the Steelbook.
That's the thing. They could have waited an extra week and then just added them to it once the episode airs and they're in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, not show the Steelbook before Wild Blue Yonder.
Yeah.
And then they're in it in Wild Blue Yonder, and then they add it, and then they put out
exactly.
the Steel.
So the moment I saw that Steelbook, I was like, we're not getting these boys.
There goes that dream.
I guess we'll have to wait till the 70th.
No. Damn, they really weren't lying. Cheeky fuckers.
These bastards. All right, Connor, can you give me a rating for Wild Blue Yonder out of 10, please?
8.5.
God damn, man. These ratings are off the charts for you.
I really enjoyed it. What can I say, Aiden? What about you? What are you going to get?
Sugar. I gave last week a 7.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to give this an 8.5 because it didn't, I wasn't tearing up or anything. Can I take a second to consult?
Sure, I'll fill the air.
Well, no, I'm just, you can fill the air, sure.
Oh, well, what do you want to do?
No, nothing.
You're just checking your old scores.
I just like to
flux.
I'm just trying to find, what else have I given an 8.5 to? Haunting of Villa Diodati? I gave an 8.5 to. I gave It Takes You Away an 8.5.
I think it's with It Takes You Away.
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple 8.5s around here in the back catalogue.
I wouldn't say I think it's definitely better than Villa Diodati.
Well, but then you look and I gave 11th Hour an 8.5, and that's probably maybe better than this.
Can I remind you that scores are meaningless? I mean, nothing.
Scores are meaningless. This really does not matter. All right, I'm going to give it an 8.5 just so that I can fist pump my good friend. Kapow. 2 8.5s. How good. The highlight so far, and I've got a feeling it will be the highlight of the whole specials.
I hope not.
No, I hope
next week will be better.
I hope so. I hope next week's a fat fucking 10.
Every week gets bigger, better, faster, stronger.
But if it's 65 minutes and there's a lot to do,
it's 30 minutes in and so much has already happened.
Settle down, Russell. You don't have to do everything. It's only the 60th
Don't tell me I'm Russell T Davies.
Oh shit, you are the best Doctor Who
Don't you know who I am?
of all time.
Don't you know who I am?
Okay, Connor. Let's wrap this up. We will be back next week on Thursday to do a preview of The Giggle before we review it next Sunday. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Donate to the Ko-fi or wherever else you can give us your fucking money, bitch. And follow us on all the socials and all that kind of thing. Last words, Connor?
Turn on the aircon, Aiden.
Thank God. All right.
It's Aiden and Connor's podcast. We're doing Doctor Who reviews.
So sweaty.
Oh yeah, Doctor Who reviews. Sweat.
I can't even clap properly because my hands just slip.
It is fucking stifling
just
here.
slipping.
Why did I wear black?
Aircon
on.
Pew! Mr. Smith, I need you.
I like that.
That would be a great, hey, Google thing.
Me in Wild Blue Yonder, Mr. Smith, I need you. No response. Oh my God, that's so nice.
Oh, it's coming straight onto you. I need to get on you.
Oh my God.
And get the aircon too.